All those that accuse me and try to denounce me are no better than pests, and I should not pay any attention to them. In fact, I should not pay them anything. They are also to lose their reward. I am issuing a proclamation that if anyone bring charges of any kind in order to dishonor the king, they are to be escorted out of the city of God. There is no reason that I, as the king, have to listen to anyone I don't want to, especially if what is being said may destroy the peace and gladness that New Jerusalem and my return is bringing to the world, and may cause those that hear it to be plunged into gloom again. This proclamation goes into effect as soon as it is confirmed that I am who I am, and I have been appointed the leader of all God's people. I know that some of you will think that I am doing this just to conceal whatever I might do wrong, but that is not true. I am doing it to shut out one of my enemy's favorite attacks, and that is to get people who are supposed to be my friends and enrolling them to support their side by bringing slanderous reports against me. I will not allow anyone to ridicule and bring reproach to the position of high priest, just to undermine my authority. If you feel that I have done anything wrong on my own account that is a disadvantage to God's holy mountain, and you feel that you need to take measure against it, then my suggestion is you meet with us and let us discuss it. Because if you say something that hurts God's kingdom, you will never stand on God's holy ground again, and you will never be able to withstand the force that is brought against you. There will be no place to hide from the judgment that believers will want to bring upon you. They will consider it blasphemy and think you have allowed Satan's spirit to enter into God's kingdom. And for that they will probably want to cut you to pieces in order to chase the evil spirit out of you and from the land where God dwells. So just in case you're not smart enough to think twice before saying something, I have issued this proclamation to have you escorted out, because if it wasn't for that, you would be entirely alone against those that will rise up against you. Any city that allows a temple or church that honors another god will be part of the lake of fire. I apologize for having to frighten you, but you are surrounded by God's enemies, and I have to do something to motivate you to open the gates to the city of God and choose to be its citizens. The citizens of the kingdom of God are all those that follow Christ and honor Him as King, which includes even those in the cousin religions of Judaism and Islam. I am relying on the citizens of New Jerusalem to stand behind me and protect me from whatever arrows the enemies of God try to fire at me. The only chance of routing all their attacks is with your help. Catholics, God has ordered you to welcome me, even if I do come with peace for the Protestants also. And on his head he wore many crowns. In time I will assume the crowns of all the nations of the Middle East, Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Africa, and all the islands of the sea. Do not oppose me, or you will burn to spiritual death in the lake of fire. A wise leader will not oppose me or disapprove of what I am doing. They will say nothing other than words of greeting if they hope to accompany me into New Jerusalem. If you want to rule with the returned Jesus Christ, you need to show me that you're willing to leave behind everything and everyone for the sake of my Father's kingdom. You will never regret it, I promise. If you are a child of God and part of His church, you really don't have much of a choice but to obey me when I tell you to come. However, I want you to do it because you want to do it. I do not want to do it because you will lose your seat of power if you don't. Think this is your chance to make the most righteous decision you have ever made, one that will help lead the world's people on a path of holiness. Don't ever let me hear news that accuses you of only doing what I say because you covet God's kingdom, and that you're maturing some wicked design and planning a revolting and taking over the world. Because if it turns out to be true, I will make sure your head is cut off, and that you are burned at the stake, and that your charred remains are thrown into a pile on the side of the road, as a reminder to all others that may think of trying to undermine God's supreme authority. You will also meet the same fate if you think about killing me. God has no rival and will not tolerate those who try. If you rebel against God now, He will regret He ever let you be part of His church. And that is the same reason I can't stop doing what I'm doing. I don't want Him to regret choosing me and taking the church away from me and bestowing it to another. I will meet with you in conference, but the siege will continue. The reason I will meet with you in conference, even though I risk being arrested on charges of being a renegade, is because I believe it is possible for me to succeed in winning your support. The reason I have are also for your nation. I am hoping that after discussing the whole matter with you, that you will see that I speak the truth, and you will consent to me being the high priest of your nation. I am doing this so we can treat each other as friends, on a first name basis, which is how kings are supposed to treat each other. I prefer there not be any anger between us. All the citizens of the kingdom are commanded to stop paying taxes to the governments of the world if your nation becomes a confirmed district of New Jerusalem by appointing me king and high priest. Then we'll still be exempt from paying taxes to them, but I will in return, as goodwill toward them, pay your taxes for you. But from today on, you are released from them all. I know that you will think that if people pay me the taxes, and then I pay them to your nation, it will give me too much power and control. But that is why I'm doing it. Until your nation has been annexed to New Jerusalem, they will try to get you to resist doing what I say. Include not paying taxes to us by saying I have no right to the taxes due to them. But the truth is now that the holy mountain of God is first in charge. It is actually the other way around. They have no right to collect our taxes without us granting them that right.